What's good? You tube, it's your boy Maceo. So we got a documentary. Hey, the Prince family been going crazy. Alright. So we got the Prince family documentary part one. This shit look like it's about to be on some TV1 type shit. Let's get into it. I got my noodles in there, mug. This is unplanned. I just seen a notification. I was like, alright, let me react to this motherfucker. Let's get into it.
You see, like, my grandma and my mom and stuff standing in front of the screen door, and my stepdad had pushed my grandma through the screen door. Me and my brother was like, oh no, fuck this shit, whatever, woo, let's get it, man, let's go. After that happened, I remember the police showed up, the police came, the ambulance, fire truck.
How the hell they gon' judge us? We came from the bottom, we ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good,
now we straight, now we up.
How the hell they gon' judge us? We came from the bottom, we ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good, now we straight, now we up.
Now we up.
Comment down below what y'all eating right now.
Screen door. My stepdad, he hit my brother in the face with a pot, and then he stabbed me one of them long barbecue forks, some thongs, whatever. And then I was just in shock, man. I ended up falling on the ground outside the snow, bleeding everywhere. I remember neighbors coming outside, they was bringing me blankets and pillows. And then the ambulance came, the police came, and then they cut my whole shirt off, whatever, blood everywhere. And then they ended up hitting me like in a stretcher, took me to the hospital and stuff. And then after that, that night, we never went back home. I guess their custody or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like no juvenile center, but it felt like it. Me and my brother, we was crying and stuff because we didn't know where we was going. We knew we wasn't going back home to our mom. We ended up staying with my auntie for like 6 months, and she basically, we was in foster care with her for 6 months, and we had to change schools and just basically change our whole lifestyle. It just wasn't the same anymore. Like when I was 17, I got emancipated. So my mom ended up signing her rights over to my dad. And my dad was like, you ain't 18 yet, you gotta move in with me, I'm still responsible for you. So I ended up moving in with my dad. I was 17, I had no money at the time. So I told my dad, I was like, hey, I used to ask for money from my dad and stuff. He never gave me no money. He always told me, hey, you gotta go get a job or something. But I felt like my real dad, I felt like he was doing more for his stepkids than he was doing for me, his real kids. I felt like, as my dad, you're supposed to support me. So he made me get a job. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I went to apply for Little Caesars. They said, the only thing we have available is shaker board. And I was like, what's shaker board? And they said, a person that hold a sign in the corner and shake the sign like this. I actually felt embarrassed. I was on the corner of State and Coliseum. That's where all the traffic be at. You know what I'm saying? So everybody named mama see me, friends from school see me over there. I was just like, I ain't gonna lie, when I held the sign, I was holding it like this over my face. So you can't see my face, but people still see me on the corner. I got my first check, it was like $200. I was like, oh hell yeah. I went inside, I told the manager, I said, listen bro, give me more hours. Little Caesars was going good for me. And I still was with this girl, which is my ex-girlfriend now. And then, we wanted something new. So we decided to move away. And we was about to move to Arizona. Me and her, we both quit our jobs. We packed up everything. And after that, we hit the highway, we dipped out. All we had in the car was clothes. I guess the dude that she was messing with, this dude that she was messing with took her virginity. Okay, he took her virginity, and females be like, oh my gosh, he took my virginity. If you don't need feelings about that stuff really don't matter to me. When we was down there, every day I'd be at the crib, because at the time, that's when I was trying to do YouTube, but I was doing, I was playing video games, NBA 2K and stuff. It really wasn't working out for me. This was years ago. When I always be up all night editing video, so I wake up in the afternoons. But every morning, her grandma or her aunties would ask her to go to the store and stuff. But the whole time I was sleeping, she was actually going to the store for her aunties, but she actually was meeting up with her ex-boyfriend that took her virginity. Basically, just played the shit out of me. One day, she came in her room crying, and she was just like, I don't want to be with you no more, Damien. I said, what you mean? I thought it was a joke or a prank, but she was like, I'm done, I'm through. But I didn't want to believe it. She basically made me quit my job, move across country, sold everything, gave up everything. And I said, what am I supposed to do? She said, just go back home. You know, like when couples get into arguments, people leave, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm about to go cool down, I'll be back in a couple hours. So that's what happened. I came back, she wasn't there. And so I was just, all right, cool. So I ended up falling asleep inside the car. Outside her people's house. And then I woke up in the morning, knock at the window. I woke up, I said, what the fuck, what's going on? It was the police. The police was knocking at my window, and I rolled the window down, said, what's going on? They said, sir, you have to leave. I said, what you talking about? It was just like, well, neighbors called the police, said somebody was sleeping outside in their car. I said, oh, me and my girl got some argument, but, you know, we working on things. It was like, well, why don't you go up there and knock on the door? I was just like, let me just call her. She blocked me. So I'm asleep outside in the car in front of her parents' house, or in front of her auntie's house. I was just like, she answered her phone. I was like, I'll call back in a little bit. He was like, to be honest, I don't think they want you here. That's what the police officer told me. So that leads me to believe that one of her people called the police on me for him to tell me that I don't think they want you here. You know, so I had no choice at the time, but just pay gas in my car, and I just drove back to Indiana. I already quit my job, I ain't have nothing. So me and my brother moved into an apartment together, and at the time I was working at Little Caesars, and I started doing YouTube at the time. I was like taking YouTube seriously. And I had like my first channel that I had like 100 channels on YouTube. One of my channels had like 20,000 subscribers on it. And you know, I was making a little bit of money. Long story short, my highest check was like $700 for the month. This was like years ago, $700. One day, I'm playing the game, recording my video, the lights cut off. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm thinking it was a power outage or something. You know what I'm saying? So I looked out the window. I see everybody else, Chris. They apartment still lit up. I called my bro. I was like, yo, nigga, what's up with the lights? He said, oh, bro, I ain't paid the light bill for 4 months. I said, nigga, what? Man, I called the light company. They said, I think our light bill was like $1,000. So I had a brand new camera. My highest check on YouTube was like $700. I'm about to get fresh, because that's a lot of money back then to me. I had to basically get my YouTube check up, my biggest one that I had, and then I had to take my camera back, or I had to pawn my camera just to pay the light bill to get it back on. After I paid to get that stuff cut back on, my brother, he just basically just stopped coming around. But we had a crib together, and our rent was $750 a month. That's not including water, trash, and all the other stuff. So my brother left me hanging. I couldn't afford to live on my own there, but I was trying to manage. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to manage month to month. The next morning, we in there playing the game, me and my cousin, and all I hear is do at the door. I'm like, who the fuck at the door? Then I walked up to the door, I heard do. I looked at the peephole, and it just, boom. Nigga kicked my door in, bro. Like when the door flew open, my head went back, I almost broke my nose. It was 4 niggas at the door and shit, bro. And them niggas was like, they came to rob me. They came to rob me for what I had. I ain't have much but a couple game systems, TV and shit. They came to rob me. It's crazy though, because the dude that came to rob me is my best friend, little brother that I was cool with for 9 years. When my best friend was like, can I bring my little bro over? I'm like, yeah, that's your little bro. He came through. We kicked it, and he came back to the crib 3 days later, but he brought 3 other niggas that was from Chicago. I took off to the back of the apartment run. I said, call the cops. These niggas trying to rob us, whatever. And then the cops ended up picking me up, taking them to where they put them over at, and I had to ID all 4 of them niggas in their faces, like right there on the block. After that situation happened, you know, I was just very uptight with a lot of things. I was going back to the casino back and forth, and then one night I got lucky, and I made like $20,000 that night at the casino. And this is after my brother then played me with the light bill, the rent. I bounced back on my feet. I had 2 cars at the time. I had this Charger, I had a Dodge Charger, and I had like a 300 Chrysler. And I let my older brother, get my 300 Chrysler. And one night I came home from Little Caesars. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, who the fuck banging at the door? I opened the door. My brother just stormed in the house, locked the door behind him. He said, bro, them niggas trying to get me, bro. They trying to kill me. I was like, who? I looked out the window. These niggas had a bat, just like bashed my car in. I guess the dude my brother was with, this white dude he was with, he got jumped at the club. And then my brother jumped in to help him. And then the dude my brother was with stabbed one of they dudes. So he drove right across the street to our house. And these niggas in 3 cars deep in the club, they followed my brother. My brother hopped out the car, didn't even turn it off. And these niggas just came out with bats and started bashing my shit in. My brother ran upstairs and I ran down because I was in my drawers and shit. I had no socks, I was just in my drawers and a t-shirt. I said, get the fuck off my car. And then they almost ran me over. They didn't know who I was. I mean, I just ran outside. You know, after that, me and my brother, we ended up kind of like falling out after that situation because he basically just, I feel like he got one of my cars destroyed, left me with the rent, all that shit. Then I ended up just losing everything again and I ended up getting an eviction. At Little Caesars, I was the assistant manager at the time. I was a trainee manager, so all the new people that came in, they had to come through your boy. So what I did was, you know, I seen Bianca, but I had a trainer. I was just like, man, it was a prep station. I was just like, come over here. I'm about to teach you how to put pepperonis on this pizza or whatever. So, you know, I'm going over there, teaching her how to, you know, put the pepperonis on the pizza, talking to her, trying to get her comfortable because I know what I wanted at the time. You know what I'm saying? I already had my eye out.
We was on the prep station. And I remember we was putting pepperonis on pizzas or whatever, and he was like, hey, you know, what's good? You know, the Three River Festival coming up. Are you going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going with my best friend, woo-da-woo.
You know, we was talking. She was smiling and stuff, feeling your boy. And I was teaching her how to, you know, make pieces. And then we went up to the landing station. I taught her how to cut pieces, box it, and stuff like that. And then that's when I was just like, hey, you going to the festival this weekend? And then, you know, I ended up seeing her at the festival. We ended up walking past each other.
And he was like, hey, what's good? And I looked at him for a quick second. I was like, who are you? And then I had to think to myself, I'm like, oh, that's, you know, blah, blah, blah from Little Caesar or whatever.
She said, oh, Damien? That's you? I was like, yeah, nigga, I was from Fresh, yeah. You didn't think I was gonna look like this, huh?
And then he was like, let me get your number. I'm like, all right, bet. So then he gave me his phone and I put my number in or whatever.
I don't know if I asked for her number or I don't know if she just threw me her number. But she gave me her number. I ain't gonna lie, after the festival was over, I hit her up. It went right to voicemail, as if like she gave me a fake number type stuff. I called it again, I'm like, this girl done gave me a fake phone number. She called me back, was like, hey, what's good? I was like, man, what's good? What you want? She said, nothing, chilling. She said, come slide to my friend's house.
And then we met up, we was in the car, you know what I'm saying, talking on like the side of the street. We was just in the car talking, and I remember he had braces, and I was like, them braces so sexy. I'm like, you need to keep those.
Came up over there and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had this little 2004, what I have? I had like 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. I had a little touchscreen TV in there, the slaps in there, rims on there. So, you know, I was like a little boss. You know what I'm saying? And then, shit, I guess that night went good because she texted me in the morning, said, hey, good morning, whatever. I said, good morning.
The next day or whatever, he came back. And like we seen each other like off and on for like a little bit. I was still in school and then he had told me he had a girlfriend, so we wasn't really nothing serious or whatever, but yeah, I mean, he was just cute. When I first seen him, I was jealous.
Bianca, she was just playing though. Bianca was like playing games. So I was with this girl, like after I came back from out of town, I ended up moving in with a girl, but she said, you can sleep on my couch. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I'm like, okay, cool. She was a rebound, but I really wasn't having fun because, like I told you, I was hurt. I was hurt because she wanted to be with me, but I wasn't ready to be in a relationship because I still couldn't believe this girl broke up with me after 5 years. So I ain't going to be with nobody. But she kept trying to force it when I was just like, I couldn't get over my ex. So it was like, how can I be with you even though you open your doors to me? I couldn't do that. Me and Bianca, I ended up working back at Little Caesars again. And Bianca was there, so I asked Bianca, did she want to go on a date? And she was just like, yeah. So, I took her to the movies. I still was living with a girl, but I wasn't with her. And then after that happened, I went to work at Little Caesars one day, and I got a text message from the girl I was living with. She was just like, your stuff outside. I was just like, huh? I was like, what you mean my stuff outside? I pulled up to the crib, police already there. The police was outside the crib. And then I pulled up, she's like, hey, Mr. Prince, you Damien Prince, right? I was like, yeah, what's going on? your ex-girlfriend, I mean, she's like your girl. I'm gonna call her my ex-girlfriend, but we wasn't together. She was like, oh, your ex-girlfriend called. She said you have no insurance, no license, expired plates, all this stuff, which was true. So she tried to get me arrested. But the officer was like, I can't do nothing about it because you're on private property. So I was just devastated because I ended up, the girl I was with for 5 years left me. Then this girl ended up calling the cops on me. This is 3 weeks after I moved back to Fort Wayne. But the reason why she did all this, called the cops on me, the reason why it led me to that, is because remember I told you I went to the movies with Bianca. I left the tickets in my back pocket. But I had my pants folded up in the closet, so this girl was going through all my clothes. So I'm thinking, why is she going through my stuff like this? You know? And so I ended up moving in with my friend for like a day. And then me and my girl started talking again, and then I moved back in with her. And 2 days later, after I moved back in with her, I came to the crib. She threw my stuff off a 3-story balcony. She threw my computer, PlayStation, all my clothes was out on the lawn of this apartment edition, of a 3-story apartment edition. And then called the cops on me. And then the cops came, they was about to arrest me for domestic violence because my stuff was thrown out on the lawn. She got the locks changed on me and all my stuff thrown out on the lawn. Broke my computer, all my clothes was on the lawn, and I just left it there, and I just left.
So when they had moved Amy into a different store, I wasn't really like fazed by it. I mean, I was, because, you know, I was excited to see him every day at work.
Little Caesars, they ended up transferring me stores because they found out me and Bianca went to the movies.
He wasn't really like my main priority. Like I was still in school, I had other dudes talking to me. So when he moved, it just didn't really bother me, to be honest.
Me and Bianca, we was like on and off. So it really wasn't, we were just texting here and I'd be like, hey, yo, what's good, you trying to chill? Sometimes she'll even text me back for like 3 days. I'm like, okay, effort. I was talking to Bianca from time to time, and I started talking to another girl, then another, and I was messing with like 23 girls at the time. On New Year's Day. Well, actually, it wasn't before New Year's Day. It was like Christmas break, cause she still was in school. So she was like a junior. I think Bianca was like a junior that year, and she told her mom and her dad. Well, she told her mom and her stepdad. Well, her mom and dad, whatever. She told them that she was about to stay at her real dad's house for like 2 weeks, her whole winter break. But she lied to her parents and really stayed with me. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, she kind of bad. I was just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and just swindle her, cuff her. And that's what I did. She stayed with me for 2 weeks. And she proved something to me. You know what I'm saying? Because we did a lot in that 2 weeks. She stayed at my house. We was getting it in, you know what I'm saying? We was doing our thing. And then I was just like, shit, y'all get a real deal. So I was just like, you know, F this girl, F that girl. I basically cut a whole lot of girls off. Cause I didn't want them no more, cause Bianca, I was like, she bad, light skin, big, beautiful eyes. She was about to stay at her real dad's house for like 2 weeks, her whole winter break. But she lied to her parents and really stayed with me. During
that 2 weeks, is when I just kind of felt like he never really asked me out. It's just kind of like, you know, like when you just feel that you're in a relationship with somebody, it was kind of just like that.
I was just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and just swindle her, cuff her. And that's what I did. She proved something to me. I was just like, shit, y'all get a real deal.
Now, my grandma, she lived about an hour away from Fort Wayne. Like, when I initially got up, I felt really lightheaded, and I didn't feel good. So I texted my mom, like, hey, Mom, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel good. I'm getting lightheaded. My stomach hurts. She was like, are you pregnant? And I looked at myself, and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm pregnant. And she was like, Bianca, you better go get a test when you're down there. If not, you're taking a test when you come home. We rode our bikes to Dollar General. I got a pregnancy test, and I came back home, and I just stared at the test for the longest time. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to take it. I'm scared about the results. I was 17. I was in school. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready. And I remember my sister and my cousin, they stood outside of the door when I was in the bathroom taking a test. I took the first test, and I waited. I didn't look at it. I just waited. And I looked at the test, and there was a plus sign. And instantly, I just started crying. I don't know if I just started crying because I was nervous, if I was happy. I really didn't have emotions at the time. I just like, my emotions were like everywhere. And I yelled to my sister, my cousin, I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. What am I gonna do? I'm in school, mom's gonna kill me. You know, I was just scared.
I got a phone call from Bianca. It was probably like around I was on break, so it was like around 11:30 a.m. I was on break. She was like, Damien. She didn't even call me. She didn't even text me. She called me. She's like, Damien. I said, what's wrong? She was at her grandma's house when she found out. She was like, I'm pregnant.
The first person I called was Damien. I called him and I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm pregnant. And he was like, oh my God, for real? I'm so excited. We're going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm happy. I wanted this. I wanted to be, you know, I wanted you to have my first child. And he was just going on about how happy he was.
But she was like crying, but I was ready for a kid, you know? But she was crying and stuff. I was like, it's going to be all right. You don't even need to cry. I said, I got you.
And then I text my mom. And when I text my mom, she didn't reply for the longest time. So I'm like, okay, why is she not replying? Is she mad at me? Like, what's going on? And she texts me the worst message that any parent could text you. She said, I'm disappointed.
She was just like, I'm scared to tell my mom and this and that. I'm like, tell her. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to support you.
So when I got back home, my mom was like, you're going to tell your dad you're pregnant. And I was like, no, Mom, I can't tell him. And so I told Damien, and Damien actually came over with me to tell my dad that, you know what I'm saying, we was having a baby, and I didn't know how to break the news to him. I sat at the table, and I just stared at him. I was like, it's something I gotta tell you. And he was like, what? And Damien knew that I couldn't tell my dad, so Damien stepped in for me, and he was like, she's pregnant. I went into the doctors and I was having like these really bad cramps. I just couldn't take the cramps. That day, I went to work. I was working at a nursing home. I was working in dietary aid, which means I just take like, you know, the people their food or whatever. And this like stuff just came out of me. And I'm like, what is this? So I went to the bathroom, I used the bathroom, and my mucus plug came out. And I looked at it and I'm like, no, this can't be real. I text my mom like, hey mom, you know, this stuff is coming out of me, it won't stop. What do I do? She was like, Bianca, you need to get in the car now and you need to come home. Then we went to the doctor, and on the way to the hospital, I texted Damien, I called Damien, he wasn't responding. I believe he was playing basketball or something. And when I got to the hospital, they was like, you're 1 centimeter dilated and you can't leave. There's no way we can stop this labor because your water has already broken. And I'm like, I was 32 weeks pregnant, and at that point, I mean, there was nothing I could do about it. He was gonna come regardless. I was scared for my life because a baby's not full term until like 36 weeks, more like 40 weeks. And I was just like, how is he gonna survive this? They were like, it's okay, we're gonna have the NICU team ready in place. Whenever you deliver the baby, we're gonna take him immediately, put him on all this other stuff. And at 3:37, Monday, February 9th, I delivered my first child, and I didn't even get to hold him.
He was 2 months premature. He was in ICU for 2 months. And in order for us to, we couldn't take, like when he was born, we couldn't take him home or anything. And like every day, if we wanted to see him, we had to literally go to the hospital.
They let me take a picture with him, and they took him away immediately. When he was born, he was 4 pounds, 5 ounces. And when I first seen him, he was hooked up to, when I first seen him, he was hooked up to all these cords, and he had tubes going in his nose. I don't know if it was my fault. I blame myself for having him early because I was the one carrying him. I went to go see him every single day. I was in school, I was working, I was doing everything, and still I went to go see him every day by myself, reading him books, talking to him, holding him skin to skin to try and make him get better, because I'm staring at this baby that I created and there's nothing I could do to help him.
I wanted my son to be at the crib with me. But Bianca, she wanted DJ to be with her, and I wanted him to be with me. So she said, skip it. She packed her stuff, her and DJ stuff, and she ended up moving with me in my apartment that I have.
So I brought DJ home in March, and then a month later, my birthday had passed and I was 18, so I packed my stuff and I just left. And when I moved in with him, life was good. DJ was good, everything was good, and then...
Listen, what y'all gotta understand is people come a long way, but what y'all gotta understand is before this YouTube shit, I'm sure y'all understand it takes it's a milestone. Like, y'all don't know, bro. Y'all don't know the struggle before YouTube, bro.
We started kind
Y'all
of...
gotta listen, y'all gotta listen.
I ended up getting fired from Little Caesars because they found out we had a baby together. They ended up firing me, so, you know, I had no choice but to get it. You know,
Hey!
And at the time, I saw...
Continuous. Now get into the video. This will be part 1 on my channel, but part 1 will be on their channel. We almost done. We are at 25:05. I mean 24:05. I can't read. What are you talking about? I'm out. I don't know what this is in my hair, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.